Hey everyone, probably some quite disappointing news. We were recording the reaction and we were having our post-episode thoughts, my computer just completely crashed. It crashed and everything was lost. We lost everything. The initial reactions are gonna be missed. We're just gonna record this quick video to give our initial thoughts on what we watched. And you guys introduce yourself because you're gonna have to do that again.
James Earl Jones.
Yes, I'm joined here by James Earl Jones and Copper. That's
and
the metal he is now.
Hopeful voice for Discord, maybe. I'm going to campaign for that. It's early enough, I think.
Fortunately, most of the podcast section, like our post-fight thoughts and our ramblings that inevitably go on, was just us talking about Dragon Ball bootleg toys and trying to pick out which ones might go into the view thumbnail.
Yeah. I guess
other than that, it was just our initial reactions.
Do you want to start with the analysis? Because there wasn't a lot there that really got us interested at all.
Oh, there wasn't.
There's not a lot there, but to be fair, these are not the most interesting characters to cover because, again, they're the same character and they're very situational. Of a big bad guy that cannot be defeated by means other than fusion. They're just not gonna show up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I think they did well enough though with what they had.
It was fine. It just wasn't particularly engaging. The fight, me personally, I wasn't really big on it. It was fine. It looked okay. We did not get Masako and Lanny together. But yeah, that's all right because they barely said anything in the whole fight. My initial thoughts, watching it, was I thought that it looked really weird, and it was brought up, it might just be that because they're animated pretty stiff, and I kind of just agreed. I was like, yeah, that's probably it. There were a lot of things that, didn't work for me. The Big Bang Kamehameha versus Final Kamehameha was really disappointing. It just kind of happened, and they shotgun shelled it at each other instead of a prolonged beam struggle. The ending was weird. Gogeta just turns to stone for some reason. With very intelligent, very intelligent theory. That one there, yeah.
The biggest thing for me that kind of differentiates this a little bit from all the other riffraff of there are plenty of talented animators out there on the internet that have made so many Dragon Ball fight animations, including this one, and so many people that have had this debate as well. This isn't my favorite of all of those. It is unique that it's 3D animated, and very well 3D animated at that. I like that they change locations between, Snake Way, Kame House, the Lookout, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, just iconic, locations out of Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, speaking of references, the Dragon Ball fighters, charging animation, slamming into each other, that was cool. I actually really liked that.
Also, them yelling "go" at the beginning, I still think is a reference to Broly and Gogeta's fight track in the movie. And I also think them doing that big headbutt at the beginning might be a Hulk and Broly reference, but that might be stretching.
I think it's the reference. I think Broly does just headbutt people. It could just be a reference to that.
Yeah.
I think the conclusion's nothing we didn't expect. Obviously, yeah. I think everybody expected it was going to end with Vegito wins.
The only weird thing is the downside for Gogeta, where it says the fusion dance can be formed improperly, which is basically saying 5% of the time Gogeta's just not there, so he just loses by default.
By merit of it being Vegito versus Gogeta, one of the downsides shouldn't be a scenario which denotates Gogeta not existing to begin with, because if they do the fusion dance incorrectly, either they don't fuse, or they become skinny or fat Gogeta, which have completely different names to Gogeta. One of them's Beku, and the other's a skinny guy that doesn't have a different name. I don't think they have a name for him otherwise.
I don't think that's actually a downside. I genuinely think Vegito would just be like, oh, you messed up? Well, hold on. We'll let you defuse. I'll defuse. We'll just do this again.
That would be
Yeah.
like if they did Zoro versus Urza, and one of the downsides for Zoro is like the very highly likely chance he just doesn't find his way to where they're supposed to fight.
The downside for Zoro, he could get lost and not show up. The downside for Urza, her friends,
doesn't lose.
Urza's friends might get in trouble midway through the fight, so she just leaves.
Yeah, like the downside of like Urza knocked him too far away and he can't find his way back. The fight's over.
Oh my god, that would be a genius way to end like just a general animation between the two. It's like Urza gets into a giant armor and he's like holding onto her spear and she just chucks it into the horizon and she's charging after him, but he gets so lost that she can't even find him anymore.
Where is he? Where am I?
That would be fucking someone should do that. That would be fucking genius. I would do it if I knew at all what Zoro was like in a fight. Because there needs to be a fight beforehand. Yeah, you know.
It's like Lion-O and He-Man. Now to finish you off.
Wait, where did you go?
Where'd he go?
I didn't want to get too off topic, but I do want to bring up again the thought of if Gogeta had like a bunch of Goku and Vegetas that like did the 5-way fusion dance together. So for Vegito, they just got like a bunch of like earrings and in full power while they were being drawn towards each other from the first pair, they just keep putting on the earrings at super speed.
I still... Oh, now I'm sad that the earring joke was lost to time because I thought that was funny. It was like a minus. Earrings could cause infection. It needs piercing ears for Vegito. That would have been funny.
That
I
joke
know
doesn't
it's
work.
a clip-on,
It's
yeah,
clip-on.
but that would have been funny as hell.
The downside for Vegito, he
Downside
could
for both of them is Vegeta does not want to fuse.
Vegito doesn't want to put the fucking earrings on. Vegeta doesn't want to dance. So half the time it's just Goku versus Goku.
Vegeta is too strapped in his masculinity to forsake even a little bit of it to put on some freaking jewelry.
Downside for Vegito, they put
Incarnate.
Goku and Vegeta
Oh,
both
and
put the
the
earring.
dancing.
They both put the earring on the left side. So that's the downside for Vegito. They didn't fuse properly.
My God.
The ending was weird, right? Because like Gogeta goes for his like Dragon Fist, cool and all that. I think it's like referencing like the shot in Gogeta Broly where he's like charging forward with a fist ready. Like I'm pretty sure it was a reference to that. After the Stardust Breaker, predictably does fucking fuck all. But then like there's this like impact. You can see very briefly like there's like blood coming out the back of Vegito. But then the next shot, right, there's blood falling. But then we see that Gogeta never actually hit him. He's just floating in the air.
I like my theory.
Your theory's good, that the Stardust Breaker, it didn't do anything immediately, but then, like, Vegeta was like, oh shit, wait a minute, and just gets, he's just like, oh
I
fuck,
heard the Vegeta part, and that was it.
you
I heard him
actual
off his balls.
cunt.
My biggest thing about this, other than like the debate and the fight, are kind of exactly what you'd expect. The analysis is exactly what you'd expect. Like, there's nothing here that's really all that's like super standout. Like all of it's good, but in the it feels a little short for a finale.
It's
sure there were
the
reasons
actual
for that.
the actual fight's only 3 minutes long. I think
I'm sure there
Makes it
are,
one
I'm
of
sure
the
there are
shortest
production
finales.
reasons for that. Obviously, I don't have a peek behind the curtain in Death Battle. I have no idea what goes on there. And one of the bigger things was at least like Vegito and Gogeta have some unique forms in Xeno that set them apart, like super full power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution with its weird Slender Man static aura. Which they're not like the fucking coolest forms ever, and they're stupid. But like it just would have been neat to see. And again, I'm sure there are production reasons that they didn't get there. I'm sure the animation was already pretty long, pretty expensive. Maybe they just didn't feel it was
at the very
necessary,
least,
but-
I think it would have been good if Gogeta stayed in Super Saiyan 4, because like the way they wrote it, it's like he's like, how about for some variety? So he goes Super Saiyan 4. That's a stupid line, by the way. But then like he just goes blue later. So it's like, so the what they're saying here is that 4 is just like shit compared to blue, I guess. It's the same thing the DBX did, and I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. Because like I love
4
Super
is
Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Much cooler. 4 is the
Also-
best Super Saiyan.
Didn't bring up a lot of like. Obviously, they use their most iconic attacks and like representing the most iconic parts of the characters and the stuff that would play off each other cool is kind of what a Death Battle animation should focus on the most for appealing to both the general audience and to fans of the character.
At least for this matchup
I-
where there's no character interaction worth doing, so we should all be focused on
I would have liked for them to focus on some of the more off-the-wall, insane techniques in Xeno. Like these aren't like good Vegito and Gogeta techniques, but like Gogeta, for example, in Xeno has like the dragon final flash where he does the final flash and then a big purple and yellow
I
Shenron
remember
show
that,
up
yeah.
and spiral around the beam as it fires, or like a Dark Broly, which is like Super Saiyan 4 Broly with a Time Breaker mask and a Dark Dragon Ball embedded in his chest, and it's the edgiest shit I've ever seen.
Okay, hold on.
Attack where
Before you finish, Gogeta goes for the Dragon Fist. That would have been the perfect time for Vegito to do the dragon, like a dragon final Kamehameha in response.
yeah, it would have been so cool.
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about Broly.
Broly has a technique where he like summons this big green energy ball like he's about to shoot it at you, but instead he grabs it and he crushes and condenses it down into a spear and then throws it through somebody and they explode.
That's great. That's great. That one probably doesn't have a place in this episode, but
No, like I'm just saying that's the kind of nature of shit that you see in Xeno, of just these off-the-wall Dragon Ball techniques that aren't just your standard like beams and blasts and have a little extra flair to them that I would have liked to see. Like obviously they do have a couple of them with like the Spirit Sword and the Dragon Fist, but
do we really want to give points to the Dragon Fist? Because we don't actually see the dragon in the episode. Like, at least with Goku vs. Superman 1, like, when Goku goes for the Dragon Fist, you see the dragon materialize.
my favorite Dragon Fist will always be in GT when he Dragon Fists Ice Shenron. And Shenron, like the Shenron that comes out of the Dragon Fist wraps around the entire city and then goes up top and comes back down and goes through him. It's the fucking coolest looking thing ever. Obviously, I don't expect like that scale of shit. Like,
that should have been
every single time.
That should have been GD Goku's level 3 when he goes Super Saiyan 4. Should have been that in Fighters.
Speaking of dragons, Shenron just piecing out.
Oh yeah, I
really
remember
funny.
noticing that. I was like, wait, did she just like fucking leave because you remember that he got his shit pushed in by King Piccolo, so he decides to just go away and be like, I'll come back when you guys are done.
Yeah, I like the thought that he's gone to go get the other dragons as if it's a fight happening in the men's bathroom in high school. Like a fight broke out and he's going to get everyone. Yo, come get the camera, watch this. Oh shit, they fighting.
He's got fucking Porunga with his little fucking like Nokia phone just recording what's going on.
it's not even
Nokia.
like a fucking...
That's cheating.
It's a little flip phone. It's a BlackBerry.
Phones are coming back.
You got like, I just imagine like Super Shenron shows up and he's like, what's going on? And Shenron's like, oh, I wish we had a phone to record this, and just happens. And Super Shenron's like, oh, okay, that's supposed to be cool.
Yeah, I wish.
Like Shenron makes a wish to the better Shenron.
Yeah.
Just better thoughts on the reveals.
Oh, we were really happy. At least me and Ty were.
Yes.
Don was sort of just neutral.
Yeah, I'm moderately happy. I understand them as a big fan of Cole, Alex. I understand Ty is a huge fan of Discord, and so Bill Discord has a big appeal to them.
Frankly, I'm a huge fan of Bill Cord as a matchup as well. I think that's a great matchup too.
Bill carried Gravity Falls for me, and I have no experience with Prototype or Infamous. I'm excited to learn about him, I suppose. I'm sure the animation will be pretty good. So that's really all I have to say about them. I'm sure they'll be neat.
I've actually played all the Infamous games, weirdly enough. I just
all three of them.
Talk about it as much. Yeah, and Second Son was probably my favorite. As weird as that may sound.
For no reason, should I end this video with like the clip my son animated with me singing Sus Among Us, Big Chungus? Just for no reason, just that at the end of the video.
Certainly could.
Maybe.
That'd be so dumb.
I'm interested to see, because I highly doubt that Cole, Alex, or Bill Discord will be the premiere or finale for the season. I'm interested to see what the premiere will be. I'm interested to see if two full winter episodes will be in the same half of Death Battle, or if they'll be like, maybe one of them will be the second half premiere or something like that. I'm just interested to see how next season will play out. I'm also sure that like in season 10, it's a big number. We're gonna hit a big milestone. I think we're hitting episode 300.
I think it's 250.
The
250 sounds more right.
We're hitting a big milestone either way.
Let me check, because I thought Kool-Aid Man, Macho Man was...
The playlist has 175 episodes in it, so
200 it might be.
Yeah,
I would, 200 is definitely the closer one. I don't know if it'll come in next season though. It'll be like the season after, if they do 16 episodes again. Right?
Either way, it's season 10 is a big milestone for any show in general, and we're
Right.
still
Still a big number.
Gogeta vs.
we're
Vegito
getting our-
is episode 171.
Most shows don't even get to that.
So
many
episode 4 is going to be
seasons.
175. I know that. Not Death Battle is currently still going forward to episode 50. So
we're going to get the fan voted episodes. I have big hopes for next season. This season ended on an especially high note for me personally, but it ended with still a pretty solid episode all around. There are 2 episodes I would say are a little subpar, at least for me. Obviously I had my hopes up a lot higher for Jason Michael, so it was going to let me down a lot more if it just ended up being kind of okay. And then Boba Fett versus Predator is just not one I get a whole lot out of, because I just don't find those characters particularly interesting.
well, only one of them's a character.
The rest of this season has been pretty solid all around.
Yeah, it is. It's overall been pretty fun. It's one of my favorites.
It's been a good season. I'm looking forward to see what they do with season 10. I wouldn't be surprised.
I had my BS win and my BS loss.
I won't be surprised if we
Obviously-
have to deal with Galactus Unicron next season.
Boy.
Though I guess when it comes to finale-worthy matchups, that phrase now has no meaning.
Yeah. Obviously, this is the season that started me taking part and Ty taking part in these Death Battle reactions with Nem on this channel, and look forward to many more with next season. This has been a fun part of bi-weekly life as of late.
agree.
Is just
Yeah.
being here, usually on a Sunday, and getting to just watch something with some friends in a call, record a video, and just have fun for a little while.
Go on for 2 hours.
And then it gets lost. Then you gotta
Yeah,
do like
this
30
time
minutes
it
so you have
sadly got
something
lost.
to produce.
I mean, what I look forward to most anyway is being here and recording with people, and
we still
obviously it sucks that
we still got the enjoyment of just being here as friends and talking.
I had a lot of fun.
It sucks that the initial reaction is lost, but really it's not the craziest reactions in general, because it's not the craziest episode ever, and all the podcasts, the part afterwards really was just us looking at
Shooting the shit.
Death Battle shit. It wasn't even super deep discussion or anything.
I'm just gonna share one of the bootlegs was GT Trunks with an ET neck and Super Saiyan Rose hair, and I'm gonna just let you guys imagine what that looks like in your head.
Maybe we can post it in the Patreon server and give people a little extra incentive. If you want to see what one image that you can easily find on Google image search look like, join the Patreon.
Maybe for the Patreon, I'll just put all the bootlegs in with Toreador music.
Oh no.
what we endured, the lost footage, not really well reconstructed. I might do that because no one's gonna care enough to.
This awful
get into
long-necked boy is a memento of that what just lost to us.
And also
Long-necked
whatever
boy.
whatever this thumbnail ends up being, yeah,
You'll get a taste. Of
you'll,
what they
you'll,
all
you'll get
look
an
like.
idea.
Ugh.
I remember we brought up that the lack of multiform technique was a bit disappointing, because it would have been really cool if Gogeta had all these multiforms ready, and Vegito did any of his possible options to deal with them. Hell, the Banshee Blast would have been perfect against multiform.
Did the confetti thing though.
They did the confetti thing. That was cool. The highlight of the fight to me was absolutely just the start with the Dragon Ball Fighters animations, because that reference really worked for me, because I played those characters a lot when I was playing Fighters with the lads. At least I played Gogeta a lot. They didn't like Vegito much when he was played as, so I sort of stuck with Gogeta more than anything. I mean, more than anything, I play Hit in Fighters, but
It's weird that there's this delineation in canon and a lot of time in these debates of Potara Fusion's deific, it's meant for gods, there's more power behind it. Like, it's meant to be a different, like, level. But then you've got, like, more infusion that's just really fucking weird. Of, like, they have a vest. All of them have a vest and a waist scarf for some reason. You can all, like, summon objects. Like, Gogeta is able to summon this confetti popper, and, like, Gotenks summons, like, you can, like, turn people into volleyballs and fucking make ghost clones of himself. Just do a whole bunch of shit. Like, both of them can just do a lot of things that the originals can't, where, like, I don't know if it's just this random lottery wheel, like, in a separate plane of existence that gets spun, and then it's like, here's your new silly techniques you get to use as a Metamore infusion, because, like, some of them are fusion techniques. Like, Die Missile Barrage is just an energy blast volley, and, like, Bang Kamehameha is like a fusion of the Big Bang attack and the Kamehameha. But there's so many techniques, like the Stardust Breaker, or like Galactic Donuts, that just aren't based on anything the originals have, and it's very strange.
Gotenks' most iconic move is literally Super Ghost Kamikaze attack.
Yeah, like, that's not... How does he make ghosts? Why does he make ghosts? The ghosts are sentient, they have personalities, we know as much from the Super Boo fight. Are they dead? Can a ghost die? Are those Gotenks clones in Otherworld now?
What other like
defuse.
thoughts did we have?
What happens to them?
I asked what happens if you get in between Goku and Vegeta when they're fusing from the earrings.
And you either get forcefully ejected from between them, or you just get slammed into really hard and the fusion doesn't work. You just get essentially like headlong rushed by the full weight of two people's bodies. Just like, fuck, ow!
You cunts! And they're like, what the hell are you doing? Or are they like magnetically attracted to each other? So they're just like, their bodies are wrapping around you trying to get to each other if you're strong enough? Like, they need that dick touch. It's the dick touch that does it.
A horrifying thought that it's like the Amigara fault, that one Junji Ito story. The bodies just start contorting around you until they're able to fuse.
That's horrible.
To fit together, they just start fucking mangling and stretching together.
Oh yeah, the Wiz and Boomstick fusion. I brought up that this is a finale, but they couldn't be bothered drawing a new design. Me, on the other hand, years ago, I had not Wiz and not Boomstick fuse. I showed it on screen. I had them use a bunch of techniques and powers.
I understand that, again, that there's been a lot going on in the Death Battle community, especially with, like, the poll and stuff, and there's, like, obviously there's going to be production stuff behind the scenes we don't know about. Like, a finale of all things, I feel like we could have put, like, maybe it was just to, like, keep that mysticism of, oh, maybe someday we'll show it off, like, I don't know if they're, like, I don't know.
Do a silhouette.
Sure there's a reason they did it, but I would have liked to see
Do a silhouette. Show the office from the other angle, and just like have a silhouette.
I liked that frame that Nem stopped it on, where they were
it looked like staring at Wiz's cock.
This image that Ty has posted in the group chat, not because it looks like Goku is losing, like angry that he's losing against Vegeta in this Famicom game they're playing. In my brain, he's succumbing to the heart disease
that's
he had
exactly
in the
what I was
Android Saga.
And Vegeta's taking full advantage.
Vegeta's just kicking the shit out of him in this video game they're playing while Goku's having a fucking heart attack.
I like to think Vegeta doesn't even notice. He's just like happy he's winning. He just doesn't pay attention.
He's too caught up in finally beating Goku.
It's that, or Goku's like just in the middle of holding back a massive dump.
I mean,
I have to take a shit, Vegeta. Not until the game's over.
Technically, Goku never really beat
You're
Vegeta.
You're never going to shit, Kakarot. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You don't understand, Vegeta.
The Saiyan Saga, Vegeta got hit with the Spirit Bomb that Krillin and Gohan redirected, and then Gohan fucking squished him as a great ape, and fucking Yajirobe had cut his tail off. Like, a lot of that effort was Goku, but it wasn't just him.
There's no way.
In the Buu Saga, when they fought, Vegeta won.
Goku was holding back, though, so you can't really say either wins there.
Goku was holding back, but he sure didn't win.
Couldn't he have just one-shot Vegeta as Super Saiyan 3 if he wanted to?
Probably, but it would have used up a lot of his time.
Yeah, but, like, my point isn't that he couldn't beat Vegeta. It's just that, canonically, I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't ever beat Vegeta in canon. There's no way to posit that first fight as a Goku win. Oh, yeah, another bootleg we found that we're going to bring up, without showing it. Imagine Battle of Gods, but Beerus is like 8 feet tall, a muscular behemoth of a man with a
Super
shit-eating,
fucking jacked.
perpetual shit-eating
Angry
grin.
Brock Lesnar cat.
So Goku does the ritual and becomes Super Saiyan God, but he doesn't get slimmer. All that happens is he dyes his hair red and his arms are a bit detached from his chest now. And then Vegeta goes back into his Majin Vegeta outfit, puts on a scouter, goes Super Saiyan 3, but he keeps his eyebrows and just decides to rumble with him. That's
when Beerus hit Bulma, Vegeta ripped off his armor that he was wearing over his skin tight latex uniform. He picked up a scouter and he got so angry he transcended into Super Saiyan 3, which based on the context of that film, maybe he could have kept up with Beerus at that point because he did manage to hurt him as a Super Saiyan 2. So that's our alternate universe. Is Beerus is built like fucking Broly. We've got Super Saiyan God Goku and fucking Super Saiyan 3 Scouter Vegeta just like tag teaming him at the same time.
and we just fucking like Beerus goes to like slap Goku, and Goku just puts Bulma up in front of him. She gets slapped like 5 times, and Vegeta gets like 5 times angrier.
Use her as a meat shield.
That's my Bulma.
Calm down, Vegeta. Calm down.
Never.
Shit. Hey, you just inspired a fun edit. I'm going to try.
Will not calm down. In fact, I found this scouter and I'm going to wear it to signify that I'm evil again.
Yes.
But why, Vegeta? I have no idea, Kakarot. I'm just making shit up as I go along. I hear that's quite common in this series.
Have to do something to compare to Super Saiyan God.
And putting a scouter on's gonna help? Yes!
Apparently.
It's red.
it's red, so it's got God Key in it.
Yes.
Vegeta like picks up a green scouter and it becomes red. It's like, that must be God Key. I don't understand it yet.
It was a legendary, now it's a god. Ugh.
It was legendary.
Legendary Super Scouter.
No, I'm Spanish.
That absolutely should have. Instead of forming Gogeta, that's what Vegeta and Goku should have done to fight Broly. Is just go regular God and put a scouter on Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta after he's stripped.
I'm a legendary Super Scouter God Vegeta.
He's just talking
Soy
shit.
Super Vegeta.
I'm losing the plot here, gentlemen.
Also, someone should make an edit of Gogeta vs Vegito, but the music is Blizzard from the Broly film, just to see how that works. I'm curious how that go.
Shortened, condensed our thoughts on the episode that isn't even the actual reaction. Somehow we've managed to derail into a podcast once again.
It happens.
It's fucking brilliant. It's gonna be shorter than all of them, but
Yeah, everyone's gonna be like, why is this only like 30 minutes to an hour?
yeah.
It's
Still,
unfortunate.
cowards not showing the Whiz Boomstick fusion. No balls. Oh yeah, we thought that the reason Shenron vanished is because Boomstick made the other wish, like in the middle of the fight. Like he just like lost interest. He was like, "Ooh, beer."
I wish for beer. He would.
Just hear Wiz screaming in anguish in the background in the middle of their fight.
No. I'm making a really dumb edit. You'll thank me later.
I'm sure I will. Oh yeah, I discussed like if it was possible for me to edit the ending so I can have Gogeta like depower and go to Super Saiyan like the very disrespectful way he kills Janemba in Fighters. It might be possible. I might try that. I made
See you
Apocalypse.
later.
I made Apocalypse into an Among Us. In that how it should have been. I could do this.
Fucking N Among Us.
Well,
You're
like
gonna
literally,
hate when I'm good.
I made like
British.
Apocalypse's armor like all red for like a couple frames before it goes back to blue, just because the idea was to have the Among Us like body found sound or whatever was playing.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Let's see. Okay, so it's not finished. I may try to change his skin color, but I made something really dumb. Let me just... And here you go.
I would have actually liked if they played it live somewhere.
I like that the rest of his body still has like the green glow about it, but his head
I
doesn't.
like.
I may change the color later.
I
but
like that the gold band around Beerus's neck and his ear actually kind of like works with the design.
Yeah.
If you made Broly's like skin all purple, you might actually be able to trick someone into like.
That's what I was gonna do, but that's proving to be more difficult than I thought it
No,
would be.
there's
so-
only a certain amount of enjoyment you can get from destroying objects. I prefer to destroy someone's spirit first.
I like how like I'm so used to seeing like Broly with someone else's head that like this. What got me was just the idea of this fighting those guys. Like the.
I want this versus Galaxia. I
It's
want
this
that.
Beerus, and he fucking cracks Goku over his knee like Bane. He's like, I was wondering what would break first, your planet or your bones.
Now I want this Beerus to fight Galaxia, being like, I am the impossible.
He just does like a flying knee and knocks her fucking head off.
Beerus just goes into this form and she gets turned on, and that counts as love, so she just dies on the spot. Check out these muscles, baby.
He dies from hoarding on me.
pecs, they're immaculate, aren't they? Oh god.
There's this full power super god of destruction 4 limits breaker.
May not like it, but this is what peak destruction looks like.
This is what the
This is the ideal destructive performance.
Sigma god of destruction. Someone should make like the fucking Giga Chad meme, but it's just Beerus with like Broly's necklace.
To make like the Chad Virgin meme where the Chad is like big buff Beerus, and then the Virgin's like Vegito with a scouter and a Super Saiyan 3 hair.
It's not like that he's still got his eyebrows, like the proof that he's like ascended Goku
he's
to
still
be
got
his
his eyebrows. He does not have his body armor.
You need like he replaced was like, wow, how did you lose your eyebrows? I lost my body armor instead. You can
You're
do
an
that?
artist.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Ty should absolutely draw that. Just like
What?
just
What
draw,
did I do?
draw the scenario of like regular sized God Goku versus massively buff Beerus versus Super Saiyan 3 Scouter eyebrows Vegeta without armor.
I just love to see somebody draw the Chad Virgin meme with huge fucking buff Beerus and stupid little small Vegeta.
I mean, some people
With his
do.
fucking-
Some people listened and we wanted like the Doomslayer as Michael. I think
Yeah,
that was
they
all
draw
like
the fucking Michael Hellraiser.
two
shit.
people.
Just so you know,
two people
I'm
drew that. That was
colorblind,
awesome.
So this will not look good.
Oh,
It's purple. It's definitely purple.
I just morphed it close enough.
yeah, it's close enough.
Maybe I could fuck with it a little bit more, but it'd take me a couple.
I mean, he definitely looks like he's ready to be fucked with.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
for Beerus, it wasn't even just that he was buff. Like, fucking, he has like a completely different face. His face looks like fucking a kangaroo. It does not look like a cat like it's supposed to.
He's also like got
And,
the
like-
smug grin that's like close to Beerus but slightly off.
Can I
Has,
like
like-
post this around?
Yes.
He doesn't even have claws. He just has like fucking man hands, and he's just like he's proportioned like a regular guy. He's not. He is no longer Beerus. He's too huge.
And he's got
Oh,
this
he's
like,
really getting huge.
he's got this
I'm
like
gonna put this in the
his
put
eyes-
this in Death Battle spoilers in the Patreon chat. In the
just
Patreon
just
server.
doing. Oh yeah, if you want to get to the Patreon server, you can just go to my Patreon, linked in the description.
You get to see Buff Beerus.
Just don't explain if anyone asks what that's about. Just
Oh,
like
I'm not going to. I'm just gonna leave it there. Goodbye. I'm gonna post it in this one server I'm in. It's gonna be like, yep, I have nothing to say.
It's such a disgusting level of muscle detail.
I know, right?
you need
Like
to
if you
draw
took
this.
those weird background like shots of Beerus from Dragon Ball Super Episode 5, like, and cranked up the.
if
gains on
you
them.
if you draw this scenario of them fighting, I will find a way to put it into whatever the next not epic rap battle we do is. I will find a way to put it in.
Freaking. I'll just find a picture of Bane killing Batman, then I'll redraw Goku and Beerus over it.
Just like
So
have
it
that.
doesn't take me 30 fucking years.
Just have that hyper specific Vegeta in the background, like, oh, he fucking
Scouter
got him.
Vegeta.
His scout is like he's like holding his scouter in his hand. He's like, holy shit! What the fuck
Like,
is
it's just like a really silhouetted Vegeta in the background with his Super Saiyan 3 hair and his scatter about to fucking murder huge Beerus.
He's just got him charging in with like a baseball bat.
Like, it turns out this version of Vegeta, like, despite how fucking stupid he looks, is actually absurdly powerful.
You gotta
That's
give
usually
him.
how it goes.
You gotta give him a stupid weapon like a baseball bat.
Yeah, that'll get him.
It's the fucking Cat in the Hat meme where it's the Cat in the Hat sneaking up behind someone with a baseball bat.
It's Vegeta without his armor, in Super Saiyan 3 with eyebrows with his red scouter.
Weird, because that wouldn't be the first canonical instance of someone
There's a
going Super Saiyan 3
transparent version.
being their eyebrows. Mention him in the episodes Super Saiyan Rose Full Power Goku Black.
Well, that's not in
where
canon,
it's-
is it?
It's very evidently Super Saiyan 3, but he has his eyebrows still. It's technically not in canon, but it's official. It's canon to Xeno.
Does Broly in Super Saiyan 3 keep his eyebrows?
I would like to
know.
think no.
So
No, he doesn't.
usually no. There's Prince of Destruction Broly, I think is what it's called, which is the one in the 4D ride where he has like his long, weird Super Saiyan 3 hair with like bangs and like pointed hair up top. And I think that one does have eyebrows.
So it could be this is not Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. This is like 4D Super Saiyan Vegeta.
This is like weird 4D like
Super
obscure
Saiyan
form Broly.
Super Saiyan 4D Vegeta.
It stands for 4 dicks.
I'm becoming a kidna.
Always win the dick measuring contest. By my measure, I have 3 more dicks than you.
I always win
Oh,
the dick
God.
measuring contest because I multiply my results by 3.
The running joke, I don't know if they ever mention, like, make reference to it in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but Team 4-Star has a running joke in, like, their TFS gaming circles on, like, their podcasts. And, the way that Saiyans, like, societal structure is if you're a lower, middle, or a, like, upper class, like, royalty Saiyan, depends on how many dicks you were born with. I'm not sure why they came to that, but that's just what it made me think of.
Oh God. I need people to do this. The best thing that's come out of this season for Death Battle for me is like all the characters that have nothing to do with anything that now exists now. Like John Yacha is now a thing for some reason. And we've got fucking
It's funny.
We got Doomslayer Michael Myers as well. Like this is a thing with this season, I guess. And unrelated to me, we've got Omnilander with the huge cock.
We'll also note, we predicted what the poll results were going to be. Granted, they weren't the hardest predictions to make,
Yeah.
but in the entirety of the second half of Season 1, you have accurately predicted a minimum of 50, if not 100% of the matchups that were going to happen.
Yeah, the only thing I got wrong was I thought Deku was going to fight Gon. Because I thought it was the right time for Deku, and I thought he was going to fight Gon.
50% accurate.
Yeah. And like across the whole season, that was my biggest failure, aside from the one matchup I don't acknowledge that I didn't get at all.
Right.
I wonder if I could explain them all, just looking back. So, I'm going to try. Harley Jinx was just like, Jinx was revealed. Scarlet Tana, Scarlet Witch was revealed. Tanjo was revealed. Thor Vegeta was revealed. I think after that was Omnilander, right? So with the funny thing with Omnilander, what happened was there was a hint given that these characters would not need any suggested media guide. And I was talking with Biff about who it could be, and I said it could just be Omnilander, because they wouldn't really need it. I was right. Magneto Tetsuo.
Read the comics.
Yeah. Magneto Tetsuo, they revealed Tetsuo. Boba Fett Predator, they revealed Predator. Raiden Excalibur, they revealed Excalibur early. What was the first episode of the second half? Bondwick.
Yeah, Bondwick.
Bondwick's an especially weird one because I woke up one day. I was thinking, what would be the coolest possible like reveal for the next character? And I thought it would be like if they did like the James Bond intro. And I sent this to Biff, and then he said if they did that, I would hope they just reveal Jason Bourne because it's so obvious what his opponent would be. And then I said I think it would make sense if like in each like bit of the gun barrel they show a different person, so that you can have some idea that it could be someone else because they acknowledge the matchups. And one of them I said was John Wick. So I sort of predicted with no real lead-in that we could get James Bond John Wick instead of James Bond versus Jason Bourne.
Completely off a whim.
Yeah, that's not the most off a whim prediction I made this season though. After that was Black Adam Apocalypse. They revealed Black Adam. Trunks Silver. They revealed Trunks. SpongeBob Aquaman's interesting. So I had a dream that they did SpongeBob versus Aquaman, like literally just comic Aquaman. So I said, I think to Huand, I said, imagine we live in the timeline where they do SpongeBob versus Aquaman. And then like I think it was a couple days later, Liam posted like the pirate thing. And Biff also predicted SpongeBob. He didn't guess against Aquaman, but we both predicted SpongeBob. I got the matchup kind of right. Technically not quite right, because I said just generally Aquaman. That one was ridiculous to me. Jason Michael almost doesn't count. They made it super obvious we were getting that.
Yeah.
They revealed Sauron, so I knew it was going to be Sauron, Lich King. Because who else was Sauron ever going to fight?
Voldemort.
Shut up. After Sauron Lich King was Deku Asta. I guessed Deku gone, because I thought we're going to probably get a My Hero Academia character. It'll probably be Deku, I feel. I was predicting Deku or Bakugo, but I thought if it was going to be Bakugo, his matchup would be Yang, and they're going to wait for Volume 9 of Ruby. And the other option for My Hero Academia is like, what, they're going to do a Uraraka episode? Probably not. Or Himiko Toga, not happening either. At least not now. Not before Deku. I got it wrong. In hindsight, I should have known it was going to be Deku Asta because they grilled the shit out of Dekugon and Asta Meliodas. So I was half right. And then after that, the finale, Biff and I were making jokes. I think the thought behind it was DBX, like the Saitama Superman was like the most viewed DBX of that season. And the next season of Death Battle, we got Saitama in the finale. And most viewed, I think, in the following season of DBX was Gogeta versus Vegito. So we'd get that instead. Now, I kept saying, nah, it's going to be Gogeta Omnimon. But I also kept just joking, it's going to be Gogeta Vegito. And it turns out...
Your joke prediction in that reaction was Gogeta Vegito. And then it fucking happened.
And I fucking lost it.
And you did the iconic Joker laugh.
Yeah.
Then you...
I quoted the Joker, and then it became a joke.
Led straight into this reaction when we were recording it initially, that your predictions for the 2D and 3D poll were Colix and Bill Discord, and then, sure enough, but again, those ones I don't feel were too hard to predict.
They weren't too hard. Oh. I think the only predictions I made that were probably hard for others to make would be Bondwick, SpongeBob Aquaman, and maybe Omnilander. Probably Omnilander would count as well, because most people wouldn't have gotten that hint, so they would have had trouble guessing it. I probably would have guessed it would happen anyway, just because it was at the time their most requested Death Battle, and I thought, surely, this or next season, we're going to get Omnilander. We did. So.
Woo! You want to wrap up here?
Probably a good idea before something fucks up.
So someone one of you guys asked if I was going to do the... before we wrap up, if I was going to do the predictions now for Colex and Billcord, or if I was going to wait for when they're revealed for Death Battle. I am going to wait. Colex I could at any point record and just save, because there's not much research that needs to go into that. It's a pretty obvious result. Billcord, there's going to be a lot of people diving in. I want to wait for them to like get it done so they have an idea. And those people are going to come to me, and they're going to be the ones who know something. They'll talk to me. I'll be like, yeah, okay, you can be on the prediction. And that's how it'll go. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I'm
And we
talking
have-
more quietly than normal, it's because it's 3 a.m. right now. And I thought this
oh
is not
boy, 3 a.m.
this is not an episode that I thought was worth, like I wasn't excited enough to sit here when it's like 30 plus degrees tomorrow Celsius, which is not even like the hottest it's going to get this week. We're going to get nearly 40 at one point later, and I thought I would rather sit here in like 32 degree heat as opposed to like 37 degree heat just at night with a fucking bowl of Powerade to keep me hydrated.
Talking to a couple of stinky Americans. We use Fahrenheit. I don't have a frame of reference for what. I can understand that's hot. I'm going to assume it's around 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
No fucking idea.
Let me.
Currently, it is
look it up real quick.
right now. It is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit where I am, and I'm in a
Cold
hot
where
box
I
of.
live.
Yeah.
I'm in a hot box of a room, that magnifies
Me and
it. To, like the thermometer I have is always like not 3 times, but always like a good bit higher than it actually is outside. So this room makes it even hotter. Like when I was meant to be editing
Being
videos, I couldn't
It's
stay in
winter
here.
right now.
Shut up.
I'm not
It's
sure.
cold where I'm at.
I'm not sure around your part of the coast where like what exactly your temperature is like. I'm only aware of my weather, but it has either been nonstop raining for days on end, or incredibly cold. It's almost always foggy, and there's ice outside, and it's gross, and I don't like it.
I've never actually
Like-
seen naturally formed ice.
Like autumn weather,
Lucky you.
I do
Hate
not
driving
like
on
ice.
that.
I will say it has been raining pretty badly here as well, which means that combined with the heat, it gets really muggy and just like
Ugh.
really sticky and just uncomfortable. It's fucking awful.
I feel that. It rains all the time in summer here too. It's summer and winter. Like spring and autumn can be pretty chill as far as rain goes, but like we get hot rain a lot and we get cold rain a lot. And when it's cold, it starts to freeze the roads. There's fog everywhere. When it's hot, it's just gross outside. But I like autumn weather. I like when it starts to cool down and we got leaves outside and it's real nice. I don't like winter weather. I don't like winter weather at all. Snow's cool. I don't like being out and having to shovel it. I don't like being cold. I do not like ice or like especially after ice melts and everything's just fucking muddy.
To shovel snow off my freaking car, so I don't like snow as much as I did when
Yeah,
I was
have to
little.
let your car warm up and defrost
Yeah,
and
I
scrape
hate
all the
it.
snow off the back window.
Basically put my arm into hibernation because of how freaking cold it is. I hate
Mhm.
it. Anyway.
Yeah,
the
I
season
think
ends.
we've managed to hit all the important like funny things we brought. I mean, we brought up what if Shenron and Paronga fused, and the response was with what ears. I was like, just wish that they just like your first wish. Paronga, I
Mighty
wish you had
Dragon,
ears.
I wish you had ears.
Shenron, I wish you had ears, and then I wish you guys just put on some Patara earrings and fused.
See what
Seems like a lot
happens.
more trouble than just wishing that they fused.
Yeah. Well,
Wiz
speaking
and
of which,
Boomstick-
what
Wiz and
fusion?
Boomstick
What
do
fusion
that.
did Wiz and Boomstick do? None that actually exists in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I don't think in the course of
As far
any
as I
Dragon Ball
know.
canon, as far as I know, I don't think in the course of any Dragon Ball canon has somebody wished for 2 characters to fuse, unless it has like maybe been a wish for Patara earrings so that they could fuse, or like Metamoran fusion. Really, you just have to be comparable in power, so maybe someone wished to be stronger so they could fuse with somebody. I am obviously would be insane if I was familiar with every single piece of Dragon Ball media out there. I'm fairly certain nobody has ever just wished 2 people into the same being.
I think the 3 of us, like, collectively have experienced enough of it to be able to say that we comfortably don't know if it's ever happened, but if we've never seen it, there's a very high chance it just hasn't happened. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we might have forgotten to bring up that was in our original recording. Probably nothing.
I found a drawing of Shanunga.
What?
It's a big dragon.
Oh, I actually kind of like how that looks. Aside from the little
I do
arms,
too.
I don't like
It's
the
the little
little
arms
the
are
little
funny.
arms. I don't like, but
It's like Goro if his bottom arms didn't grow all the way.
No, it's like Collector with his gross little fucking anorexic hands on his back.
yeah, I like how Christmassy he looks.
He
Yeah.
does look festive for some reason. He's just green and he's got all these lights around him.
That's really fitting because it's a few days to Christmas, and we're not going to be calling on Christmas, so early Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, guys.
Oh
Too.
Wow, that was a response. So we'll wrap this up. If you watched all the way, which is frankly for one of these reaction or one of these podcasts not very far, what hashtag should you put in? I'm thinking hashtag Super Saiyan 3 Scouter Vegeta.
I'm gonna say
one. Want hashtag Titanium 1208 for Discord VA, and I mean use an actual number 4. Don't use FOR. Just use an actual 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna posit hashtag Give Me Ears.
Hashtag Give Me Ears. That's a great one too. Any of those hashtags will accept if you
All
watch
three.
the way here. Just put
All
in
three.
all three. You guys can decide the order, and that's going to determine the story of those hashtags.
I check the comments. Don't think I won't see it if you don't do it.
You will see it.
If
I
you
will.
don't do it, I probably won't see it. But
I'm always surprised how many comments I see Don reply to. I'm
I
always like,
will
well, he
check-
replied to it, I guess
I will
will.
check them up
I mean,
until I see
try to
enough
be
enough
active.
up until I see enough people getting angry at me for not loving the episode. I'll be checking the comments. They will reach a threshold where I'll be like, I've had enough of being attacked for today.
I try to, every time we release one of these, or just in comments in general, whenever I watch one of them's videos, or whatever I'm in one of them's videos, try and, browse around and see if there's stuff that, like, addresses something we said in the video, or just general questions about it, and try to go out and answer them to the best of my ability.
Yeah, we had
Mostly
we had
saying
a
wrong.
decently lengthy discussion on Discord versus Bill. That's lost now, but you don't need to know what that is.
There's always the prediction.
It's always the prediction. That'll be interesting. Yep. Alright, so we'll see you guys another time. Probably next year is when we'll next be recording all together. You guys can say goodbye first.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
That was an interesting goodbye. I'll link stuff in the description, including my Patreon. I'll see you guys another time. Have a good one, everybody. He once was Big Chungus, but now sus among us. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.